a normal, just like noticing the breath, right? Because sometimes you tend to forget the breath. The way that I teach meditation is pretty much feeling your whole body completely. Because when you feel your body, it's such a present thing, feeling the whole sensation of your body, that it allows you to perceive things, but also feel your body first. So the whole point of meditation is not to just sit down and meditate. The whole point of meditation is to bring the state of meditation to everyday things. In other words, it's to pretty much perceive the world unfiltered, without thoughts, right? Because what tends to happen is that when you meditate, you're pretty much just taking energy from your mind and bringing it to your senses. That's why when you meditate, you usually become aware of a physical sensation. They usually say, notice your breath, right? Or hear the sound in the room, or feel your hand. What they're pretty much doing is that your mind pretty much just takes up your conscious life energy and animates itself with you like a parasite. Rather than sucking your blood, it sucks up your consciousness. And so that consciousness creates, amplifies whatever you light a shine on it. So your mind becomes amplified, so you think more. You think more. And what happens when you think a lot? You get very stressed out. And what happens when you get very stressed out? You're not aware of your own body. You don't even notice that you might be fidgeting. You don't even notice that your face is borrowed. You pretty much you lose connection with your body because you're so in your head, right? Heck, somebody might even walk by you. You might not even notice them. You see, but you're not seeing. So meditation brings the energy that your mind is literally stealing from you, because you have identified with it, and you bring it into your senses. And so what happens is that when you become very present, all of your senses come alive. And the reason why they become alive is because now they're not being taken up by your mind, right? That's like the whole point. And so when you're very present, every sound has a meaning. Even like just picking this up, even your hand touching it is it brings joy to you. When you see people walking, because you're so in the moment, your brain is taking so much information of your senses, not your thoughts. Because in reality, when you're thinking a lot, you're not really taking in everything. You don't notice the way that the sound of somebody's feet hitting the ground. You don't notice the way the dog walks, or even you don't notice the way your feet touch the ground. You're not aware with your environment. Like, that's the whole point. So by being present, you just become super connected with the environment. And there comes a point where you begin to see yourself in the environment. And once you begin to see yourself in plants, in people, that's because that filter is being completely removed. By the less you think, the more you see yourself in other people. The more you think, the less you see yourself in other people, because you pretty much create a separation, right? So that's the style of meditation that we're doing. If you're able to pretty much feel your whole body, or become aware of your breath while you perceive the world, you'll see the world completely differently. The whole point is just leave, don't let your mind absorb all of your attention. Always keep some attention on the inside. And that means feel your hand, notice your breath, notice the way your feet feel on the ground. Just have some awareness, so that you don't let your mind completely take over. Does that make sense? Right? So that's a style of meditation. So it's pretty much, can you, most of you guys, can you feel like there's like an energy within you? It's almost like if you close your eyes, you'll feel almost as though there's like an energy that's on inside of your body. You can feel the life of your body from within, right? And an easier way to do this is just to pick one of your hands. Let's just pick the right hand and put it in front of you, and ask yourself, how do I know that my hand is there? By just feeling the hand, how do you know that it's there? And just feel the hand from within. Feel the life energy in your hand, and feel it from within. Explore your hand from within. Just go through every finger and bring awareness to the thumb. Feel the thumb from within. Go up and down and just bring your awareness to the thumb. Now to the index finger, feel it from within. The middle finger, feel it from within. The other finger, feel it from within. The pinky finger, feel it from within. Feel your palm from within. And feel your whole hand from within. Just keep feeling the hand. Feel it deeper than you feel it now. You should feel your hand subtly vibrating with energy and life. That's how you reclaim your consciousness from your mind, by bringing awareness to the hand. Now feel the other hand from within. Give 10 seconds of pure awareness to each finger. And as you're doing that, notice the breath. Just pay attention to the breath. Now try to feel both of your arms from within. Feel the life energy that animates your arm from within. Feel your whole midsection from within. Feel everything. Feel the life force from within your midsection. Your chest, your stomach, your back. Now, as you maintain awareness of all of the things that I mentioned, become aware of your right leg. Feel your right leg from within while you feel your hands, arms, and torso. Now feel your left leg from within. Now feel your head from within. Feel the life energy from within your head. You should feel your body vibrating a little bit more than before. You should feel your body more relaxed, and then it's almost as though it's vibrating. Now try to double that vibration. Feel that vibration even more right now. And just keep feeling that sensation. Feel the whole body. Feel the life energy emanating. Thoughts cannot enter when you're paying this much attention. Don't forget to notice the breath as well. Feel as though your consciousness is not just in your head. Feel as though your whole consciousness is in your body. Don't just localize consciousness in your head, localize it in the whole body by feeling it completely. Even as you hear me with your whole body. Even as you hear the sound of the water dropping on the air conditioner, hear it with your whole body. Feel as though that your body is completely merging with the space itself. Feel as though it's vibrating the same energy field that the world vibrates, that space vibrates to. Pay attention to the silence that my voice comes from, and notice when my voice returns to silence. Even notice the space between my words. Look for the silence in my words. Notice how that sound came from silence. And notice how my voice returns to silence. With your eyes closed, notice every sound that you are able to perceive. And in your mind, with love, say yes to it. Say yes to every sound that you hear. Say it with your body as well. Look for sounds to accept. Explore the room for quiet sounds to perceive and to accept. Just don't forget to notice the breath in your body. Now, as you open your eyes, perceive with with first feeling and keeping awareness on the inside, because that's the whole point, right? The point is to have some awareness rooted within and don't allow the world to completely absorb all of your attention. And it's almost like you're opening, it's almost like your senses was the channel to your senses was this big. And now when you remove attention from thought, it's almost like it expands, because the more sensations and the more emotions you perceive, the better the experience and the more peaceful it is. The more sensations and emotions you suppress or miss out on perceiving, the more stress, the more in your head that you are. The whole key is just to open, it's like opening the window and allowing fresh air, right? You, by being present and just focusing on whatever sensation is in front of you, you're opening up the window of experiencing, allowing freshness to come in. And the difference with of this is that this freshness doesn't is not dopamine. It's not fun. It's not hedonistic. It's not pleasurable. It's just pure peace. For example, like I was going up the train the other day, and I don't listen to my headphones when I'm walking, when I'm on the train. I pretty much just try to be present, even when I'm waiting for a bus, whatever, unless it's a flight, I wear it. But I was coming up and I just heard the little sounds of things dropping, and it's weird. Hearing random noises just made me happy, like a joy and pure experience, right? It's almost like you lower your threshold of pleasure, where little things, the little sound brings pleasure. The sound of a horn brings a smile to your face. That's legit possible. And the reason why is because you're not taking all the information. When you learn to take all of the information unfiltered, it's almost like the best way to explain it, it's almost like it's almost like being on shrooms without the tripping. Like it's almost like being on shrooms without the psychedelic aspect. It's almost like it's beautiful for its own sake. Everything has quality. Like it's almost like when I'm alone, it's almost like an ASMR experience where every sound, like I said, every sound has meaning. Like you pick it up, even each drop of water, you can sense the isolated drops. And it's like you could imagine how that's like it's pleasurable in a different way. Like it's pleasurable in a non-hedonistic, pleasure-seeking way. What that is very peaceful. And a lot of people are uncomfortable with that. They don't find they're uncomfortable. It's like somebody who's used to drinking like soda and beer, and then they drink water. It's like it's weird. It's like it's not comfortable. It's like they want that extra spice. They don't know how to enjoy the crisp clearness of water itself, right? So the whole point of all of this is to not just be able to meditate here, but to bring this and be able to feel your whole body when you do anything, because it's not that hard. It's a lot easier than noticing the breath, right? You literally are feeling, because it's almost like you could sense, it's almost like an energy, you could feel it more. And what's funny is that there's no end to how deep you could get. You could feel the body so intensely that it almost feels like you're turning Super Saiyan. Like you could sense like an aura around you, and it just makes it so easy, because then you could just observe the most stressful situation, but because the sensation of your body is so intense, it's easier to hold on to it, right? As opposed to just feeling the breath, you could easily forget it. You could easily forget to notice your breath when something bad happens. But because the sensation of your body is so intense, which you could practice through daily meditation, it'll be very difficult to lose a present moment, because all you have to do is just feel it. That's all you got to do. So I'm walking around and I'm feeling it. And what's happening is that without you noticing, you're not thinking. You don't think. Like honestly, like I remember when I used to meditate, I used to like forget that I'm not that I shouldn't be thinking. But for some reason, with feeling the body, it's almost like you almost forget not you almost forget that you have to think. Like you, oh shit, I haven't thought this whole time, right? Now, what was like your experiences with that meditation? Like any from your feedback,
The vibration made my body like more relaxed.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes it easier to hold on to, right? Because the hardest part of meditating or even just being present is to remember to become aware of sense perception. And that's like the whole gist of it. Because what your mind does is that it just takes you out of your whole body. It completely takes you out of your body. It controls you and you don't even notice it because you're just so used to it. This is uncomfortable for most people because they're not used to it. But this is actually natural. This is what most animals do. What the hell do you think your cats are doing? Like you think they're thinking? They're not thinking. They're literally what you imagine that they're doing. They're just there, like looking, staring at the wall. That's all they're doing. They're not thinking. They're just feeling their body. They're feeling their breath. They're feeling their heart. They're not saying something's good or bad. They're just there, and they just feel at peace. Right? You piss them off. They do remember. I was gonna say you piss them off, they'll forget. Yeah. Does that make sense? Any questions? Questions? Good. Yeah. What?
Do you practice non-duality?
What's non-duality again?
It's no, no separation from the other. It's some of the stuff you were saying is some of the stuff that I read a little bit in Buddhism. It was really beautiful.
Well, it happens. It arises naturally. It's like when you look at something and you're in your mind has a habit of saying me, 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 me. And so you reinforce the separation between yourself and other people and other things, also objects. But when you're not thinking, there's no me. There's just isness, a pure perception without any self-reflection upon yourself, where everything you're seeing is you. And that's literally true. Like this exists, but at the end of the day, I'm interacting with my own brain. Like it's me. It's literally me. It's my own perception. It's not, I'm seeing it, but I'm not really seeing it. Like at the end of the day, it comes from myself. I'm self-generating this. But also at the spiritual level is that for example, I was walking and I was just noticing that my breath, noticing the tree. It's almost like a realization. Oh my God, I'm seeing myself. I'm looking at the trees, and it's not a thought that I'm seeing myself, but it's a deep connection with life. Like that's life, and I'm life, and it's like this is the different manifestation of this one life, like a phone, right? It's like we all have different phones, but same electricity, right? Different softwares, but just same electricity. Different forms of life, but it's still the same life, right? And so it's kind of like once you realize that, not through a conscious thoughts, but through being and just being in your body, you'll begin to notice that if it wasn't for thoughts, you wouldn't see the difference between yourself and a tree. There really isn't. It's a self-created division. And that's why you're able to see a tree and smile, because you're loving yourself. You're looking at yourself. And by loving that tree, you end up loving yourself, right? Because people might not invite you to a party, but then you just feel your body and you say yes, observe it. And you'll notice that joy comes out of it, because hanging out with them is like hanging out with yourself. If you don't like hanging out with yourself, you're going to create problems and people are not going to like you back. And that is a reflection of yourself. And then you can see how you could use this in dating and relationships, because with relationships, they force you to face things in yourself that you usually wouldn't face if you're alone a lot, right? Because you don't put yourself in uncomfortable situations. You don't misunderstand yourself. But when you're dealing with people, applying this strategy will allow you to suppress, not suppress, but to let go of a lot of projections that we're creating because we're holding on to the past, right? So somebody triggers a needy reaction in you because we all have it, right? We all have triggers that cause us to get needy and lose control. So somebody does it, and what you do then is rather than react, you just fear your body. You fear your body. You hear the thoughts of retaliation or even start chasing, but you realize that that's not really going to make you happy. What you're really looking for is just to feel at peace. Like if you really notice, when you think of the ideal relationship, the end goal is to sit down by the beach and finally have your drink with your man, right? You're like, right? You're like, and if you really look at it, it's almost like this is what I need to be happy. And the moment between now and that, I just want to get through this moment to get to that moment. But what you don't realize is that that moment, the future, will come in the form of the now. When that happens, it's going to be now. What you really happen is really happen. That's a mind pattern that you will always find something to look into the future. That's how your brain works. You just have to believe. It's not. It's like when Jesus said, like, have faith. You have to sort of believe that this feeding the body is the happiest you will ever be. This is the most fulfilled. This is what you really are looking for, and a part of you doesn't believe it. Like a part of you does not believe it. You almost have to have, like, it's almost like you almost have to be like have bravery and say no, even though I don't feel like it's true, I know that it's true. You don't feel, because the part that doesn't feel like it's true is just your ego. It's just your ego. It's like, oh man, if this person accepts this, I will cease to exist, right? So you just, every time you feel like you want something, you just say to yourself, am I looking for happiness in that? It's like, is that really going to make me fulfilled? And if you think that's going to make you fulfilled, just feel your body. Just feel it. Because this is it. Feeling the body is all you will ever have. Because like when you reach 50, all you're gonna do is just feel your body. 60, feel your body. Because what you don't want is to allow your mind to create a story. Because look, there are things that I could tell you that will make people, that will make you guys cry, like hurt your feelings, right? I could hurt your feelings, and you guys could hurt my feelings too, right? And when I hurt your feelings, it creates more thoughts. It reminds you of the times when somebody hurt you, right? And it creates more thoughts. It puts you in your head. That's the same thing we're doing with unnecessary thinking. We're hurting our feelings, and we're creating unnecessary emotional reactions. Oh man, I'm such an asshole. Boom, an emotional reaction which causes stress, which causes more thinking, and which causes more thinking in the same vibration as that thought, right? And that's what we do daily. We continually recreate our traumas through thinking. So it's not about changing, it's just stop thinking. How do you do that? Bring awareness to the body. This is literally how you transform yourself. That's it. It's as simple as that is. And it's simple, but it's like saying a sugar addict don't have that candy, right? It's not that easy, but it's almost like you have to have blind faith. What will happen is that a few days after, what I would recommend is just don't have your phone when you're don't have your phone or earphones when you're walking, and just feel your body, even when you're walking. And the next time you say I'm gonna have my headphone on because I'm just bored, that's your ego right there, and you just lost. You lost. Just promise you won't have your phone on you from now on. And you'll notice that ride, that walk, you just bring awareness to those moments. Feel your body, and it just gets easier over time. Like me, I barely think throughout the day. I only think when I need to think. Like it's almost like I put it down. I learn to put it down, and then I pick it up. There are times when I just stand, and like when I wait for the doctors, I'm just like that. Like they might think I'm weird, but I'm just like feeling the body. Like I don't need nowhere to go. It's a little weird when you're doing it at first. It's like walking for the first time. It feels uncomfortable, but then after you do it, you realize that going back to the way you did it feels even more uncomfortable. Those people who 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 walk around with their mouths open. They don't put, like, they don't, like that, and they teach an exercise called meowing, where they force people to put their tongue on top of the ridge so that you can keep it closed. We all do that unconsciously. Most people do.
I'm doing that right now.
Yeah, right. But a lot of people don't do that. Like it's uncomfortable to do that, right? And to them, that's the same thing with like being present, right? This is natural. To some people, this is unnatural. This is natural to them. And doing this takes effort. Like I remember when I broke my jaw, when I broke it, the first thing I had was lo mein, right? And I was like, oh my God, it's so hard to chew. And even going to sleep, like the fact, like if you don't notice, but your muscles hold your mouth up. Like I was literally like this. I'm like, oh my God, like this is effort. So I literally had to keep it closed, and after 2 days, it became normal. But it's the same thing with this. Is that this is us not thinking like that. It's a muscle that has atrophied, you know. But the more you do it, after a while, you feel that thinking feels uncomfortable. It'll feel like, oh, this is off. I don't like this, and then you feel the body more. And now I'm at a point where, you know, at this moment, like I could just feel the body any moment that I want. That's why I have to almost forget. I have to remember that you guys don't just feel it automatically with the meditation, but it's almost like you have access to this place of peace. You know, all you do is just feel the body from within. That's it.
I've been doing this since I was super young. I don't know why.
What?
The tongue like stuff up to my.
Oh no, no, yeah, that's everyone does that.
Okay.
Some people don't do it because of just bad habits, you know. But that's like they call that. I forgot what's it called, but yeah. But that's pretty much it. So when you guys meditate, just feel your whole body. You guys can do like a body scan, where every night just scan your body, right? Bring conscious, feel it from within, and go to sleep. And when you wake up, just feel your body. Put your phone down. Do things in silence, and just feel as though it's like almost like an ASMR experience where every sound has crispness to it, right? And that's pretty much how you do it, man. Any questions you guys have in mind? They can't hear you. I don't think so. Let me end this. There you go.